Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Sherry. I'm a life coach and an artist, and I wanted to share 8 practical tips to deal with being lonely because it's something that literally everyone experiences at some point in time. So, number one is think of it as a temporary condition and not like a permanent condition. Because if you continuously think of yourself as a lonely person, then it's going to make it really hard to be anyone else. And when I say being lonely, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're not surrounded by people. Like, there's people that are surrounded by others and still lonely, and vice versa. There's people that are like alone, like most of the time, and aren't lonely. So, when I say lonely, it's more of just like a feeling of just isolation and like disconnection. Number two is if you are feeling this way because you're not around people or don't have close relationships, I suggest joining groups that meet regularly, like once a week, even if it means like getting a job. Even if you don't need a job, like just being places where people meet regularly is going to forge like more permanent, like closer relationships. Number three is use your imagination to your advantage. A lot of time, like if you're feeling lonely, then you're probably like imagining yourself alone. You're just you have all these pictures in your head that kind of embody that feeling of isolation. So try just like separating yourself and like creating pictures of yourself with others and like enjoying time with others and like just imagining like how you want your day to be versus like how it is. Number four is meditation. I always recommend meditation, not just for clearing your mind, but there's a lot of guided meditations that you can use to sort of conjure feelings of just like more like emotional closeness with others. And even if you're not into meditation, if you've never done it, it's definitely worth a shot. Five, obviously, I have to mention talking to a professional is sometimes like very, very helpful. Just getting those feelings out and like working through them, and maybe coming up with like a game plan and how to meet more people. So number six is look at your beliefs. If you are perpetually just like feeling like alone and isolated, just ask yourself, like, do you feel worthy of love? Like, do you think you deserve to have other people in your life? Do you think you'd be a good friend? Because sometimes those beliefs can like unconsciously like block us from like connecting with others. Number seven is change your dialogue, because if you're used to being lonely, if you felt lonely for a long time, and I've been guilty of this in the past as well, you see people together and you're like, oh, that'll never be me. Or you see even just friends hanging out and you're like, oh, that would be nice, but like I'm here alone, drinking my beer by myself. But if you just actively change your dialogue a little bit, like when you see people together, just tell yourself like they might have been single and feeling lonely at some point too, and just even being like, well, eventually that's going to be me, like that can really just change that feeling. Number eight is focus on self-care. So if you're going to be alone, or if you are alone for long periods of time, like you might as well use it to like really work on yourself, just get excited about like eating better or working out or like learning a new skill. Like that can actually distract yourself from the fact that you're not around others. And it can sometimes lead to connections too, like hobbies and mutual interests can like lead to meeting others. So hopefully you found these tips helpful. Let me know if there's like anything that I didn't mention. I'm sure there's like many other ways of dealing with being lonely, but these have been just like things that have really helped in my own life and I've seen work for others. So hopefully they help.